you know, a rough series yesterday in the last match of the group, they did top it. And this is also a chance for V1 to prove that they can actually beat the top team. They've gone to game 5 so many times with top teams, and they just can never get that win. Hard to do. I can't see them beating NRG today. NRG they were clean in the group stage that I saw.
Absolutely is the case. I think one player that will, for everyone looking at him today, is going to be Torment. He was firing on a different level yesterday. That offense was sublime. The passes on point and the shots top corner. We're going to need a lot more of that from him today. First things first, though, they want to see some offense. Justin gets around most of the team. Torment, however, was the last player, and he did not make a mistake.
It really did look like Justin had a reset there, but he must have just missed it. And this is now almost an open net, and Garrett's going to put it in. It may as well have been an open net, because at that range, with that quality of pass, and that much of the goal to aim at, Garrett G doesn't miss.
Unfortunately for Torment, he went looking for boost that just didn't pop up. Oh, there it is. As soon as the ball actually went into the net. So a harsh goal to concede. NRG, this is how they will expect to see it. We have seen NRG throughout a lot of times this season see a lot of offense and not very many goals. I think this isn't going to be the case. As much as I enjoyed casting V1 yesterday, defense was not necessarily the name of the game between them and their opponents. NRG, though, still yet to even see the orange side of the field. There it is. We're gonna take at least a brief trip.
Interesting. Garrett didn't want anything to do with that complete deadlock on the sidewall. Didn't actually catch which V1 player it was, but they were committed to it. They were committed. Garrett was not. Wonder if that's going to upset the fans, get everybody rooting for V1. Clearly, NRG, the fan favorites in every single matchup these days. I don't know if they're going to be too bothered by this. That's a good save by Torment. Near post was Justin's target. It's like you said, it's difficult for V1 to even get the ball out of their half. How on earth are they going to do that against an NRG who are swarming them?
Well, right now, it looks like they've got two options. Go for a big challenge and leave a player downfield to aim for, or try and outplay to the point you can get past that halfway line. Both very difficult. One is definitely much more dangerous than the other. As we do finally see a challenge one in the midfield. In comes Com off the ceiling. That was a place he was committed to very early on in that play. Here comes Gimmick, delays the challenge, gets a good result for himself. In comes Torment as well. Wants to put it back corner. Not quite able to fool anyone with all three players currently on the goal line, though. That does mean Com can go for some bumps, bring in the rest of the team. Up goes Gimmick. And Squishy has recovered from the bumps right in front of the player. And now it's the transition. Torment up against Justin. Gimmick able to get himself back. Com blocked away by Garrett. That's not a good play, actually. Torment infield pass to Gimmick. And I think the pass just needed some way to run onto it.
Wow. Well, I mean, something's gone wrong there, because it was a straight-out 2v1 for version 1 with an uncontested infield pass. So, I mean, not being able to put a shot on target from that is a disaster. That's, I think, easily the best chance they're going to get this game, and they've completely blown it. You know, if they get a better chance than that, they've got to score. There's no way that they're going to miss something of that quality again. That was just a shame to see.
Again.
Surely not, Shogun. Surely not.
Well, maybe not that play. I'm looking forward to seeing potential on the replay, like what happened with that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the timing of the arrival looked a bit off.
Or what?
Well, it looked like Gimmick might have actually gotten a bit too far forward, because he was arriving early, had to slow it down, and of course when you have to slow it down right before you run onto a pass, it's hard to get that momentum back. And here comes Com. He doesn't need any help generating momentum. Lifts the ball over the last defender. Yeah, where was the help? Squishy just completely alone here. Not much he could do against an experienced solo duelist like Com.
For Com, it was just that simple. To go for the double jump, watch the ball float on in. So NRG, look, they just got a little bit too comfortable with the amount of offense they were seeing. Now we've got to try and fight them their way back into the lead. Booming clear once again. That third man very far forward from NRG. Squishy can collect. Com at least gets a decent part of the car. Oh my. Challenge is up to Torment. He can't do anything. Danger. And V1 have suffered for it.
Yeah, it was Torment and Gimmick both committing to the corner play. Nobody could get goal side of the ball when it was re-centered. And, you know, it's a bit risky to do that. You saw Gimmick tried to run on and catch up to that ball as Torment soft cleared it. That left nobody back. So, you know, it might look like Torment is the one out of position there, but really Gimmick put him in a weird spot. It's not ideal when you soft clear the ball and your last man, or the guy you think is going to be last man, overtakes you, makes a run onto it.
40 seconds left. There is Com once again looking to be that star player. I didn't see too much of him yesterday. I like to put his name up in lights. Remainder of this game, however, is Justin. Has he got the reset? Has he ever? Almost able to dance his way past absolutely everyone. Now Gimmick with Com up in support, gets the ball over to him. But again, that passing play just doesn't look good enough. Forced the play to slow down, and once again, it is somehow kept away from Squishy, but the pressure's still there. In comes Com. 2 players needed, and 2 players was more than enough. They've got rid of the danger. They might very well have this game. Com wants to go for one more attempt. As he got the support, Gimmick's shot is blocked. And Justin will power it. There's no one over in that far corner, and it is down for game 1.
Well, an interesting game. There were chances for V1, not too many chances, but yeah, really want to take another look at that infield pass. Not sure if we'll get a replay of that one right now, but it did look like an awkward one for V1. It's a chance that they should have at least got a shot on target from. NRG's goal that they did concede, or rather I should say Version's 1 goal that they did score, it came off NRG just being too spread out. There was too much space for Com to get the ball under control, set up an air dribble. It would have been an air dribble bump had Squishy continued to shadow the play. He turned around to challenge, and that's what made it into just a regular air dribble, but Com was lining up an air dribble bump there. So yeah, anything Squishy does is probably going to get countered. Yeah, Torment and Gimmick. Last goal of the game. They're both in the corner, nobody in the goal. You got to have somebody back there. You got to get goal side of the ball.
Yeah, and considering that those were the 2 star players yesterday, they'll want them to put that behind them, get themselves reset as we head over to game number 2. As for NRG, you know, it really does look like they're more of a threat to themselves than anything else. They want to try and ensure that rotation remains at least somewhat disciplined. Garrett G off the backboard. Tom going up, just trying to make sure that that flip reset wasn't an option. Comes Com. Lost the challenge. That might just drop in.
Whoa!
And somehow, I think it was a pinch actually that kept it out.
Yeah, it looked like either player, you know, was probably going to have a save on that, but definitely not an easy save. But they combined forces to make it a far better clear as well. Great stuff from V1. Synergy on the defensive goal line.
Play it again. Com backs away. Gimmick's on no boost, so Com with his 50 is going to need to do very well with this. Looks up to the far side. That buys his team a lot of time. Quick sweep across. Got 100 onto Torment with Gimmick around. Justin past Com. Wants to get to Garrett. Takes the ball under his own control. Justin's still around. A lot of creativity, though, coming out from NRG. They're not just passing and shooting. They're being very tricky.
Yeah, that was a sneaky catch attempt from Garrett. Now here he comes again with the redirect. Com will keep it in the corner. That's a very good touch. It's denied NRG a follow-up immediately. Those clears are not coming through, though. NRG are beating V1 to the ball every time that it's lingering in the blue half. And now Garrett gets more excited, but accidentally half flips into Squishy, but Gimmick will have to just settle for the bump on him. No clean shot for V1. Infield pass deflected clear by Squishy as well. Neither team really playing at their best yet, but that's problematic for V1 because they need to be the team playing at their best and catch NRG slumping at the same time. There is a difference here, but there will be nobody back for Com's shot, and it's 1-0 V1. There's a double commit from NRG that has led up to it.
One thing that a slow-paced game does provide is, you know, a little bit of a different scenario when it comes to decision-making. That's definitely what happened there. Very awkward and very wrong decision to send 2. V1 though with the lead.
It didn't make sense, in the replay as well. You just see Squishy and Justin second and third man in the play, and they're both flying at the ball. So I don't know why they both decided to jump there. Miscommunication for NRG, perhaps. Maybe Squishy thought Justin was boost starved, tried to help him out.
I think
But
that's
you see
the
Justin
thing
wasn't
as
boost
well.
starved.
That's what I was maybe trying to allude to just a little bit, was just when things are slower, you know, this is a very quick game usually where you have to make those decisions as soon as possible.
Oh, okay.
Once again, nobody back. This time, it involved a bump just to get rid of it, man. Squishy, you are out of here.
That's Squishy again, left alone in defense, and there's not a lot he can do against this onslaught that's coming towards him. You know, Garrett and Justin, they could not have been further away from helping Squishy there. They were almost both on the back wall of V1's goal, playing for bumps by the looks of things. At a strange time,
like,
you can't be doing that when your team's defending. Your third man is alone.
This looks to me like very early winter rogue rotation, where
Yeah,
you just saw first killer behind all by himself so often.
Yeah, they would do it in the group stage, and then they'd improve as the tournament went on. This is the knockout gauntlet. It's a tougher stage of the tournament. You can't just finish top 4 in a group in advance. You need to win this series or the next one. Justin's pre-jumped this pass, or well, definitely pre-jumped the last touch there from Garrett. Maybe he didn't want there to be a second touch from Garrett in that play.
Good block. It's off the backboard. V1 not going to chase too hard for their third goal, especially with only 2 minutes left. They're in the driver's seat for this game. Garrett right to the corner. Gimmick will be able to just guide his way around. Squishy preferring to go for the half rotation. Not able to quite get it. And all of this, it doesn't really develop anything offensively. But man, is it annoying. And man, does it waste some time.
NRG need to step up. They were able to step up in the latter half of the series yesterday. They played against G2, closing out group stage. They didn't start off playing anywhere near their best in that series either. So I trust that they can produce an upswing at some point, but they're running out of time in game number 2. And V1 playing some tidy defense at the moment. They're not getting completely backed up into a corner like they were at the start of game 1.
Just wasting time whenever they get it. Is over to play that you want on your team when you're up by a couple of goals. It is Gimmick, as he is now called into action to clear. Garrett can't get enough of the challenge. Gimmick off the backboards. Just right across the face of goal, as they shouldn't do. Nobody else moving forward over on V1. 30 seconds now. Garrett at least hits Torment. Nobody else around for NRG. If they are going to get anything out of this game, it's going to have to come from this offensive push. And it might very well come down to whatever Garrett can do off this challenge. And there was already Torment ready and waiting. That looks like it is job done for V1. And it was a game where Squishy was over and over found by himself on the defensive side of the field. NRG will need to fix that because V1 have taken this game.
Yeah, we did see that in the first game, the game NRG were able to win. They, had a sign of weakness. They don't have that synergy. They don't look like they're defending as a unit in this series. They are very spread out when V1 attack them. And Squishy is the one who's, it's either a combination of him being too far back to follow up on what Garrett and Justin are doing, or Garrett and Justin being too far forward and not realizing, actually, we need to hang back a little bit here. Squishy needs someone to pressure the ball because he's completely alone on the goal line. Again, it's been, I think, 3 goals where this has been the case. Yeah, it did look like in that goal there, Justin had low boost. I imagine that he called that he had low boost, and that's why Squishy double committed, because he could see that Justin was in front of him. They're not, deliberately double committing on that play. There had to have been a call of low boost from Justin there, and that's why Squishy's flown. But Justin's also flown because he thinks, sometimes you call low boost, but then you think, actually, I think I can get that, so I'll go up for it. Yeah. Communication for NRG causing the problems.
Yeah, and it's always been part of NRG's repertoire as we get Torment. Flip, reset, goes low, wins the challenge! Torment is back to his day 1 best!
What a goal, Torment! Had the fake double touch, gets it under Justin with a reset, and I believe it's bounced in off Squishy's car. It might have gone in off the post, regardless of that fact. Well, it's definitely not, a play that Squishy can be blamed for again. There's just nothing he can do there. This has been a nightmare of a series for him. He just keeps on ending up in the most awkward positions. And this time it's Torment, his old teammate, who's put one past him.
Over to that corner. Here's Torment again. Another good touch. Gimmick lashes. A half volley clear across field. Now back down. Justin needs to avoid Com, and he's got no chance. Torment with the rocket.
What a center. Com threatening a double touch. That meant Justin had to wait. But actually, Com had no intention of going for a second touch there. It's just a center off the back wall. And Justin had no chance outside of a crazy pre-jump to save a shot from that range. Torment just blasted it in. 2 goals for him in the first 30 seconds of the game.
Oh, what a turnaround this has been for V1. They are finding the gaps. It has not been, long stretches of offense we've got from them. It has been taking the 1 or 2 chances that they get. I think you and me both, Johnny, were very worried after game 1 when we saw that infield pass just go to absolutely nobody. Now we've got it back and Squishy.
Whoa.
I think there was some anger on that one, Johnny. that was hit with intent.
Squishy absolutely slammed that one in. 131 kilometers an hour. That is a beast of a shot. Perfect pass as well in the setup. So well played on that one from Garrett G. It's interesting, Squishy's actually changed his car. He had one of the common decals, actually the one Gimmick's running with. And there is a closer look at it. Gimmick scores with the decal that Squishy just changed out of. So clearly that wasn't the issue.
Garrett just completely whiffed on it. Right over.
Oh, pass.
I'll tell you what, V1, we might complain about some things later. Shooting accuracy, not one of those things.
I mean, they've really stepped up this game. They've had 3 shots, 3 goals. They are sending some really, really good strikes on the net. And this was missing in game 1. We were wondering, okay, where's the shot off a beautiful infield pass that we saw? No shot on target. Now we're getting shots on every single pass. So V1 have absolutely stepped it up to another level here. NRG definitely had a hand in their own demise in game 2, but it's been V1 forcing the issue in game 3.
There's Justin. He wasn't challenged immediately. That's usually a mistake against him. Somehow V1 able to get at least somebody over to it. And I prefer that strategy. Take the shot on your own net. Make sure you miss it. In comes Com. He's got Gimmick up in support. Will he need him? Oh, it's off the crossbar. In comes Torment. He wants his own shot. And Torment has a hat trick.
Look at V1. They're just lining up to attack this NRG goal. And Torment beating the defender to that one. I think there might have actually been a bump as well on the NRG player closest to the ball. I think he was getting a 50-50 there, Justin. Had it not been for that bump that connected with him. So this is just brilliant from V1. They're putting everything together here, and it's all about the shooting. They're not holding anything back.
There is, yeah, as you mentioned, no fear on these guys. That pass far too close to the defenders. Torment, very much the most confident player we've got on the field. Do see Gimmick pop the ball up, nobody following. And with a 3-goal lead at this point, you can already start seeing V1 going for more air dribbles, give it to Gimmick, let him take it. And he's not really going to force the issue into the last possible moment. And still some boost. He can take a shot at this, actually. There it is!
Oh,
Garrett,
my.
very fortunate to find himself in the right spot.
Now look at these shots from V1. Every single one of them is going fast and towards the roof of the net, so it's difficult for NRG to make good clearing touches whenever they save these hits. 4-1. Now remember, loser of this series is not eliminated from the tournament. They will have one more chance to advance to the top 8 later on today. But it's another series for V1 where they're playing well. Oh, Justin's going through! NRG not out of this by a long way.
Absolutely not, and it was Torment getting himself really stuck in the wars. Right over to Justin, 2 goals, 2 minutes. Mind you, whoever does lose this one, they do drop down to the lower part of the knockout gauntlet. Take on either Continuum or Ghost Gaming. And right now that is looking like it is going to be Ghost Gaming. Continuum down 2-0 in that one. Sorry, Leaf. He was the one that predicted that Granovi and co would be able to move on. Torment.
Who knows? Granovi knows how to reverse sweep. He's done that a lot in the past. So it's never over till it's over for these guys. Back in this series, I'm curious to see if V1 are going to keep up the aggression. It's been just a hugely aggressive game start to finish so far, but Now that NRG have scored and taken the wind out of their sails a little bit, will they sit back and just defend this lead for the remaining minute?
And also, what would be the knock-on effect of doing that heading into the next game? It's very difficult to regain that offensive momentum when you lose it, especially against a team like NRG. There goes Garrett, right into Com, who didn't even need to jump. And because of that, he can take his time. Took a little bit too much of it, actually. And NRG are responding better. This slow play is actually getting them put in a lot of difficult positions.
Wow.
Com safe, gets it behind him into the corner. Torment back into the mid. It's over to Garrett. Couldn't find Gimmick's car.
Yeah, what a save by Com to, like you said, keep that one in the defensive corner as well with his clearing touch. Brilliant stuff. If that had gone across the box, NRG would have continued attacking, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. And it's off the post. Com again.
Wow.
With a huge save. NRG are bringing it in the final minute. V1's defense holding strong.
Here's Torment, wants his fourth. Justin definitely made it very close. As Com right back down, 2 players needed for NRG. Not quite what they would have wanted to see, and despite a little bit of a scare, V1 should be able to see this one through. See Com get rid. Oh, it's going to drop down, and time is up. V1 with 2 match points. But if history says to us anything about this team, it's that they're going to need both of them.
Yeah, and you know, if we've learned anything about V1, it's the unfortunate truth that they're probably still favorites to lose this series because they just can't ever get that final game. I mean, everybody's rooting for them to succeed. You know, to see a player like Com having such a great rookie season, and Torment and Gimmick as well, legends, former world champions of the RLCS. Everybody loves these guys, but they just can't ever get that last game. They've been in this position so many times. 2-game wins against one of the best teams in NA, and then they just struggle. So this is all about confidence. They have been the better team so far. NRG were completely obliterated at the start of game number 3 there. Will V1 attack with the same confidence now that they're on match point?
Well, let's find out, shall we? Utopia for game number 4. Want to see whether or not all 3 blue cars will be in that side of the field. Lets it drift straight across the face of his car. Squishy down, nobody around to support him just yet. In comes Gimmick. There is Justin. Won't be challenged for a while, but didn't control it as early as he'd have wanted. Still going to be able to make something out of this. A demo off camera from Com really slowed down the offense from NRG. Justin wants to try and give a receipt. Nothing quite around. NRG want to see more of what Game 1 provided to them. The start so far has looked a lot more similar to Game 1 than it has anything else. Good block, and now Torment's got to try and scramble, but the bounce not too kind for Garrett. He's got 2 players around to help him, and one of them is named Justin. Great
strike from Justin, but most of the praise again has to go to Garrett. Just sneaks in there, steals the boost. That's made it difficult for the defense to challenge this ball, and then gets back after stealing the boost in time to center it. Brilliant stuff from the NRG captain. V1 still have chances, and there's another one. Torment hits the bar. Something we didn't say a lot in the last game is everything seemed to just go in for that guy.
Which one's the player? There's multiple options. They're going to go with Gimmick. Pass over to Com, and needed to stretch that car just a little bit further for it to make contact. Oh, wait a second. Torment. Well, that was an unusual challenge, but it definitely worked.
Yeah, it looked like Com just needed a bit of a longer hitbox to get on the end of that one. Maybe a Lambo would have done it. Not the Octane. The short Octane, just unable to reach that. Oh, that's almost got in. Torment and Com have managed to keep it out, but not before it almost bounced into the goal. Bizarre to see at this level.
Good challenge from Gimmick. Pulls Garrett into action, only as far as Torment. Pass to Com, realizes that his shot probably wasn't on with Justin just staring at him. So 2 minutes down. Definitely a bit of cooling off has happened to V1. That's not really much of a surprise. It would have been more surprising to see them actually continue to hit the ball quite as clean as they were in the last game. Garrett, he created the last. He looks to cause even more chaos in this final third. Right now, V1's cleared. Very difficult just to get some purchase on the ball. Garrett hooks himself around for it, gets past one. And Torment with a crucial challenge. V1, though, up against it here.
Yeah, what a chance this is, though, for V1. They've just got to give this everything, because clearly NRG have not been feeling great today. We've had decal changes from all 3 players, I believe. I'm not sure. I think, did Garrett start off the series with this decal Shogun? I don't believe he did.
It's not something that I tend to register in my head.
Definitely the other 2 have changed. The other 2, Justin and Squishy, have absolutely changed their decal, which might not seem like much, but it's one of those things that pro Rocket League players and all Rocket League players can relate to. You don't feel like playing well. Com will, though. Garrett saves his shot. And now it's NRG on the counter. Justin's going to try and double it at a tight angle. Into the middle for Garrett G. And NRG will be feeling pretty good about how this game's going.
And unfortunately, that one's going to have to go to Torment. Thought about going forward, hesitated, thought about it again, and by that point, it was far too late. Team caught on the counter-attack, and now NRG want to send Version 1 to their least favorite place on the planet.
Oh,
and that is Champions Field.
Oh, no. Per V1, it just keeps happening to them, and it's not going to get any better. Happening. Justin makes it 3. A very nice finish there from Justin, close to the back wall. Still, didn't look like he was ever going to miss this. We've seen Justin score these, I don't know how many times. He's brilliant with the tight angle reads.
Oh well, V1, you got questions to answer here. And unfortunately, it is the question that has been plaguing them all season long. Can they get the job done? A series that they were so solid in. But game 3, game 4 has gone as badly for them as it possibly can. Justin faking out gimmick, and Torment scoops the ball back out. NRG playing for fun at the moment. Here's Garrett with the double tap. My goodness, Justin. They are just finding very easy ways towards that backboard. 1 player goes, all 3 players from V1 required to stop them. There is Justin. Pass over to nobody, but Com can't quite get to it. That's an interesting pinch. If V1 can get a goal right here, they might at least be able to make a game out of this. Doesn't look like it's going to quite fall for them. That should be right into the path of Garrett. Gimmick off the corner. A bump on Com means that he can't get there quick enough. 30 seconds left, Johnny. We now start turning our attention to that very likely game 5.
Yeah, it's the worst place for V1, like you mentioned. They should probably from here on, well, based on the record they've had, be known as V1 game away from winning, because that's where they always get, and then they can't win. That's where we're headed.
No, boo.
We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they're going to win. Maybe they're going to be, they're just going to be V1 game away from losing this series and then actually clutch it up. I want to see it happen, honestly. I'm rooting for these guys. But it's also great to see NRG play a good game here. That was brilliant. It was the best that we've seen from them this series. They've found the decals that work today. And V1 are going to need to produce the likes of which they did in game 3 if they're going to take this Shogun.
What, is it like some sort of encrypted password that they've got to work with every single day? Like, here's, finally, we found the decals that will actually give us our optimal performance. But for V1, well, they saw nothing of the offense, really. Got plenty of saves for themselves, but that was about it. And now they do head on over to that game 5, over to Champions Field. And this is a situation that they have seen themselves in so many times, that close to the statement win. I don't think there's many people out there right now that don't think that they are at least a top, like, don't think that they at least are not a top 8 team. We all know that they should be there. Yeah. But everyone wants to see them get further, try and maybe push themselves towards even a semi-final at some point. But these are the sort of games you got to win. And right now, it's easier to do that in a best of 5 than we want to really step up even further heading into like the Championship Sundays. You got to do that best of 7s. But for now, they've got the task ahead of them. Win this, get through, or lose, and NRG will be through very comfortably to the final day.
And this is yet another chance for V1 to prove themselves. And what we saw from NRG in game 4 was more along the lines of what we expected from them coming into this series. Games 1 and 2, Their communication and defense was off. Their positioning was too risky. They stepped it up. You know, NRG got beaten fair and square in Game 3. They dominated Game 4 in return. So now, may the best team win. The winner of this series will advance to the top 8 in the last regional of the NA RLCSX season.
Garrett taking his time, knows that Gimmick will never be able to reach him. Torment lays it off. Wanted to see a blue car over there. Instead, it's Justin. Both teams wanting to get teammates involved. Nobody around just yet. Com realizing that Justin was swooping in from the side. It's a little bit earlier than maybe you wanted, but now that means that he's available down the other side. And that's Gimmick forced to back down. Justin waits for it off the backboard. In comes Squishy. 1 minute down. Both teams not looking the most comfortable. But Justin seeing a lot of the ball. And that is always a very, very scary position for any team to be up against as Com takes the ball under his own control. To the corner. Difficult to create from this position, but he will at least give it a go. Com one more time. There goes Com. He'll be back later on. That's Justin around the first player. Gimmick forced to just go as quickly as he possibly could. So far, NRG getting the closer, but neither team really creating that one big opportunity just yet. Com, that ball will bounce out, and Torment would have liked to have been a little bit more centralized to be able to run onto the shot.
A solid game for both teams, a quiet game for both teams. Caution is the name of the game here. Nobody wants to make the mistake that will throw this one away, especially after what we saw from NRG earlier on this series. They've completely ironed out those mistakes. They're just trying to keep those out of the game. That's a big chance. It's the best chance of the game. Justin off the bar. Squishy's at the back post already. Sends it back in. Torment deflects it into the same corner. That's where NRG are waiting. NRG have players on both sides of the field, left and right. It's going to be difficult to get a clear through them.
Yeah, NRG seem to have found their footing here in Game 5. They're willing to spread out those players, as once again, Gimmick not able to take it past the first player. An interesting bounce up, especially off the demo. Com can't quite follow up. He's just playing this a little bit early for my taste, but at least he gets a bump. Here comes Torment from the corner. Oh! He's got it past Justin. He almost got it past Squishy. But Squishy with the hard read on where that flick was going.
It's been one of those days for Squishy. He's always the last man having to defend these solo plays, but that time he comes out on top. Huge save, keeping NRG in a tie game scenario. Still a lot of time left before OT should we need it. V1 having more success just getting the ball closer to the NRG goal. Here's another opportunity, but that's going to be too easy for Justin. Collects it and sends it back to the blue.
Minute and a half left. Still no goals between these two teams. Gimmick and Torment a slight miscommunication, but they've still got the offense going. Com was very far up, though. Will that ruin their rotation? They're still trying to get players back. Now they've got Com to aim for as Garrett realizes it. Has to try and get out of the way. Bounce back out over to Gimmick. Now V1 starting to show their teeth a little bit, wanting to push all three players forwards.
Yeah, the off-the-ball plays are coming in as well. That's a huge pass. Com denied by Squishy, who closed down the shot incredibly quickly. That was a brilliant pass from V1, and the shot would have been on target. So Squishy's defense is what's keeping NRG in this.
Can't afford to make a single mistake, especially with this late left. Dangerous to Com to try and play it that way out, and this is why. Up goes Justin. He's beat to it by Gimmick. NRG, though, on the press. Looking for their chance. An awkward bounce there for both teams. It's off the backboard. Gimmick, he has 100 boost. He waits for it. Gimmick has fluffed his lines and handed it to Justin.
Oh, it was just awkward for Gimmick. He was just a bit too far forward in the goal. Didn't feel comfortable flying up and making that read, that overhead read. But at the same time, he didn't want NRG to know that he's not going to go up for it, so he faked a jump and then didn't land goal side of the ball. That allowed Justin to come in and score right underneath him. Disaster for V1. And it's defensive positioning that's led to it. They've still got just seconds in Game 5 to prevent the same thing from happening that always does. Garrett's going to make sure of it. Surely no, it's off target on the rebound. Maybe still a chance for V1.
They've got to grab hold of it, and they've only got 100 boost across all 3 players. Torment unable to collect the ball, and NRG through on the upper side of the knockout gauntlets.
Oh, V1, V1. V, once again, 1 game away, and they just couldn't get it. That is just all too similar of a situation for them. They're not out. They have 1 more chance, and they should be winning that. They're very consistent against the teams below them. They've played a good tournament overall so far, but they can never show up in these game 5s. It's a mistake that's cost them the game, and that is just the worst way to see them be beaten here. As for NRG, what an improvement. What an improvement in terms of communication and defense as the series progressed. That shows the quality, the experience, and the class that we've come to expect from them. They win in 5 against V1. Per V1, it's a shame. They've got the opposite of BDS. BDS win every game 5, and V1 lose every game 5. So maybe that's what's unfair when BDS start to lose some, and maybe that'll leave some game 5 wins for V1.
Maybe time for some Discord calls and find out what the secret is about the whole thing. But for V1, we will see them later on today. NRG, we will see you tomorrow. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we continue on with the knockout gauntlets.